Mackey, and it's my pleasure this morning to be the practitioner who leads you into next 15 minutes in a meditation. So if you'll get yourself comfortable with your feet flat on the floor, your palms in your lap or on the table or on the chair arm, and with the palms up, and lower your eyes or close them in order to avoid any distractions that you might see or hear. I invite you to breathe out first, and then to breathe in, and to do it in a very conscious way. To feel the air as it moves in and out. To feel your chest as it rises. To feel the temperature of the air. For that is the life force of the universe sharing with you. With each inhalation, I breathe in the force of life, the life force that surrounds me all of the time, wherever I am. And as I exhale, I release and create room within me to release the what was, the stale, the past, and allow room for the new and the brilliant and the as yet known to come into my life. For today, I begin life anew. Today, I am born as a fresh, new, bright, glorious day. This day has never been before and will never be lived again. And so I enter this day with enthusiasm, knowing that the presence of God uplifts and enlightens me, that the universal presence and power of the divine intelligence is my guiding star. And through it, I am always led down the path that is leading me to my highest good. So I choose to bring into this new day a new sense of awe, a sense of wonder, knowing that I am filled with wisdom from the universal divine intelligence, and that I live from that center of peace and of joy and understanding. As a new baby day, I find that I have new courage, that I have new strength, and that I have a clearness of understanding of what I am as a spiritual being. For I know that the center of my being, the internal higher wisdom self of my being, is the connection to the universe. As I hear these words, I allow them to sit gently around my shoulders. I let them feel like a nice, warm embrace. For this is my opportunity to create a day like none other. And today I am choosing to be the expression of radiant health, that my eyes shine and my smile is big and honest, that as I listen to other people speak, I hear only the love and the joy and the divineness of that spoken word from that person. And I receive it that way, and I am filled with the overflowing feeling of giving back to that person exactly what I have received from them. Rather than make decisions about what I see, about what I hear, about what I feel, I look at that heart-to-heart connection and know that there is only one divine presence. And out of that presence, each was created. As I focus my attention on the shining light within, I truly see the person in front of me. No matter what the words are, no matter what I think, I open myself to what is divinely within me on my deepest level and my highest knowledge of my connection with the divine. And I breathe into that space. I feel an uplifting feeling of peace. A peace that surrounds me. A peace that enfolds me. A peace that lives within me, always. I see a strength of acceptance of the greater and grander and more expressive example of the divine. And anything that appears to be unlike that support and those words that uplift me and connect me and resound within me, I know have no support. They have no footage. They are simply past events, past experiences. I know that I am grateful for those. And know that at this time in my life, they no longer serve me. That I have moved beyond what was and now dance in the presence of what is today? What is this moment? What is this gift of this new day that I have been given? And how I choose to express it and to live it and to share it. I know wherever I am in exactly the place that is for my highest good. And as I sit in that place, I find myself free of judgment. I find myself simply being as the open vessel to allow what I still do not know to fill me. I have strength that I have never had before. I have strength of my convictions. I have strength of my capacity to love totally. I have the ability to forgive all that feels as if it needs to be completed. Where I may have thought someone had injured me, or whether I may have done that to them by a word, by a deed, by a thought, or by an action taken or not taken. I look at my life as the greatest gift I have ever received. And as I live my life, I live it as a way of showing thank you, showing gratitude for having had the opportunity to have this life. I choose to make a difference with every person I meet. And I do it in a non-judgment way that allows me to be perfectly centered in my being as I allow that person to be centered in theirs. I have a sense of lightness, lighter than ever before, and a clarity that shines in everything that I do and everything I think and every movement that I make, for I know I am always divinely guided. For I have come as that empty vessel. I have opened myself up to being and releasing and knowing more about what I am, who I am, what I am here to do. And as I find the meaning of the gifts and the talents that I have within me, I understand that my purpose is to share them with others. In gratitude, I let these words sit with me. I feel them, I sense them, and I appreciate myself, this divine spiritual being that I am in this wonderful, wonderful life experience, and my gratitude for the opportunity. I am filled with joy, and I am filled with love, and I am filled with all of the blessings that I've received all through my life. and know that they are continuing all the time as I allow myself to be the recipient and be the giver at the same time. Everything begins with me. I know that. I'm the one that turns the wheel, that pushes the on button. And then the universe comes in and puts in the gas. I am so blessed as I am so blessed. And so it is.
That one song.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. We're so glad you're here with us in the sanctuary or online. And we're going to go ahead and get started with a couple of congregational songs. Get us in the spirit, so please rise.
God is where I am. God is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, God is where I am. Love is where I am. Love is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, love is where I am.
Peace, baby.
Peace is where I am. Peace is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, peace is where I am. Joy is where I am. Joy is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, joy is where I am.
Back to God.
And God is where I am. God is where I am. Wherever I go, whatever I do, God is where I am.
All right, take a moment to greet your neighbor, mingle a little bit, get to know.
We got some new hangings. We got some new art.
I know. It's really joyful, isn't it?
Yeah. That's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, there's an explanation about the joyful dress. I'm trying to see where but
Oh, yeah?
it's about a dress.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
a joyful dress.
Awesome. That sounds awesome.
I'm trying to remember where I had seen it. I'm not sure where.
Still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know.
Be still and
Be still and know that I am God.
Be still and know that you are.
Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know we are.
We
Be still and know that we are God. Be still and know that we are.
be still
And know that
that I
we
am.
are God. Be still and know.
Thank you, Joy Notes. Welcome, everybody, to the Center for Spiritual Living Eugene, the center, as we like to call it. I'd like to right now acknowledge that we are meeting on the unceded traditional territory of the Kalapuya peoples. We like to acknowledge that every time we meet here. So right now, I'd like to invite everybody who's visiting or has some updated info they need to get, please fill it out. Your sheets, they're out here. Oh, they're in the social hall now because we're doing some updates in the entryway, as you can tell. So please make sure you get in so you can get on our email list and know what's going on around here at the center. We're Right now, I'd like to read our Declaration of Principles. We're on number 11. And personal power. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of the mind. All starts right there. That's the truth. Sometimes I even go to work in the morning, I got to make that decision that today is going to be good and I'm going to do it and conquer it. And I mostly do if I start like that. See, at this center we know spiritually empowered people live richer, fuller lives. And we use the principles of science of mind to inspire minds, open hearts, and empower lives. Right now I'd like to invite our practitioner of the day, Reverend Trish, up to lead us in our affirmation treatment. Oh yeah, we got to sing our song first though.
We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come, for we are one. We are one, we are one. I am you, you are me, we are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come, for we are one.
So if you'll take a moment and join me as we set the tone for this morning's service. As we sit and appreciate the fact that we are here with like-minded people sharing our own inspirational gifts as they share their wonderful, wonderful essence with us. So I invite you to make yourself comfortable, to ground yourself with your feet flat on the floor, to lower your eyes or close them, whichever feels more comfortable, and to open up your hands with your palms up to receive the blessing of the universe. So as we draw it up from the ground, we bring it down from the universe. So right here and right now, what I know that this is a day of unbelievable joy and harmony and peace and beauty. It is a day that has been created specifically to be enjoyed each and every step of the way. That anything that arises is simply just a little look over here. I don't want you to miss anything as the universe guides us always in the direction of our highest good and grounds us in our present moment as we know that the power that we have within us is utilized each and every moment, but we begin from where we are, right here and right now. And I invite you to honor yourself for choosing to answer the calling to be here, to actually be here. For you have given yourself a gift and an honoring of the divine presence within you. Knowing that every time I am anywhere, I am always in perfect company, always doing the perfect thing, for that is where I'm being guided to be. And I know that I have given myself the opportunity and the blessing and the honoring on this wonderful holiday of St. Patrick's Day to just enjoy whatever it is that comes into my line of service, that comes into my line of words that I speak with others and those that are spoken to me. I am always loved well, and I love well, knowing that I am loving myself as there is only one of us, right here and right now and always. So I open myself as an empty vessel this morning to hear all of the wonderful words that will be spoken, divinely guided by the universe, all the music that's been chosen, that has been chosen by the divine universe, and to know that whatever unfolds is always right and perfect and is always fun. In gratitude, I let these words go back to the universe from where they've come, knowing that they were words that needed to be spoken through me, but to be heard by me and everyone within the sound of my voice. So right here and right now, blessings abound. The rainbow is out. The sun is shining. And God is well pleased. And so my life is well blessed. And so it is.
Wow. Wherever two or more meet, right? It's the truth. I'm just so glad y'all are here today. Let's see, we don't have anybody holding High Watch today, so today's message will be Tell Me Something Good from Reverend Trish. Reverend Linda? Oh, yeah. I got too many reverends on here. I'm sorry, I'm doing like 3 duties today, and they're kind of getting mixed up right now. We've got a monthly affirmation. There we go. I'm going to say it once and we'll say it together. I live in a world and a time of limitless possibilities. Every day offers me a chance to release the past and embrace a richer experience of life. I step forward into the ever greater good. Together? I live in a world and a time of limitless possibilities. Every day offers me a chance to release the past and embrace a richer experience of life. I step forward into ever greater good. Okay, today's message is Tell Me Something Good by Reverend Linda, and today's music is by me. I'll be taking up offering a little bit too, so. Thought I had a guitar pick. Must have got knocked off. I was so ready this morning.
Take 1 or 2
It was hid under music. Hello, hello, testing. Mama, take this badge from me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot 'em anymore. This long black cloud is coming down. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Come wipe these tears from my eyes. I won't shed them anymore. The sun is setting in western skies. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Love you guys.
Sit back, relax. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening.
I let go. And I let God be God in me. I let good be good in me. I let love be love in me. I allow life to live itself through me. For I am one with the infinite. I am an expression of life as me. Living, breathing, moving life. And today I open up to the possibilities that are all around me. I climb over the mountain of my stories, and I see the clear horizon of the future. Nothing to block it, nothing to limit it, only pure potentiality there for me. And I relish it. And I breathe. And I contemplate. As I trust and I know that the path before me is clear, I simply let go and allow life to move forward. Allow the sweet river to carry me. Allow my good to reveal itself. And I let it go. And let it be so. And so it is. Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Kevin. That was exquisite. That was heart-opening. Really was, really was. It's so good to see your beautiful faces out there. It's so good to know you are here with us in person or that you are here with us online. And for my beautiful tech staff up there, I love you and appreciate you very much. This month, as we look at the idea of a grand rising as opposed to just a good morning, a beautiful, wondrous, strong way to begin everything, that everything is a grand new beginning. This month, we are looking at the idea of that's how we've never done it. As opposed to, of course, that's how we've always done it. But we have to do it that way because that's how we've always done it. We need to get a new mindset. We need to consider the possibility that just maybe, the way, if we always do what we've always done, we will always get what we've always gotten. Yes. So if I would like something new and different in my life, do you think just maybe I might want to try doing it a little differently than I have been? That would involve that C word, change. Ooh, God, change. But the more I'm studying this teaching, the more I learn this teaching. I've been in it 30 years now. And I'm still learning. I feel like I'm still at the shallow end of the pond most of the time. There is so much here. You cannot outgrow this teaching because this teaching has more depth than is possible to even wrap my limited head around. But I'm reading more and more books on the idea that uncertainty is the way to go. That when, and I've said for some years, when I've always got the answer, when I know what needs to happen, I have left no room for spirit. I have left no room for the infinite to offer me a bigger, a brighter, a better idea. When I know what's going on, when I've got the answer, I'm stuck in a little box that I created that has all the answers that I know. But outside that little box that I created that has all the answers that I know are infinitude of answers I had no idea about, questions I had no idea about, stuff I didn't even know existed. I have to laugh at us how we, who did it take? Okay, they invented engines to run factories back in the 1800s. And but horses are still pulling all the carriages, and if you need to pull something longer and harder, you get more horses or oxen or whatever it is. And when we wanted to go further and faster and more, somebody had to think of the idea, well, couldn't we put these engines that are running the machines into the factories into our wagons? And yet we're so stuck to the horses that this day, 100 years later, 120 years later, we're still talking about how much horsepower the engine has. Maybe we should let go of the poor horses and let them play. But this is we get stuck. It's just an idea of how we get stuck in old ways of thinking. And we need to learn how to unlearn what we think we know. The hardest thing in the world is to unlearn something. Anybody who's ever attempted to quit a habit knows what it's like to unlearn something you do automatically, autopilot, going, How many in this room, aside from me, have driven down the road and realized they don't remember what the last 15 miles? It's kind of scary. It's like, oh, I just turned onto the highway here and it's 10 miles later and I'm on the off-ramp I'm supposed to take. Where did that last few miles go? We have to be present to what is, because every moment is a new beginning, and what worked in the last moment may not work in this moment. Might not be the answer this time. Even though I've done this 1,000 times and that's the way I fixed it before, maybe that's not the way to fix it this time or anymore or ever. The thing of it is, I don't really know what I think I do. I know stuff. But it isn't really all the answers I was seeking. It isn't really the truth of what I'm working on. Years ago, when I love crime dramas, forensic dramas, as long as they're not too violent. But Bones was one of my favorite shows for years. And she said something one time that I literally paused the TV, pulled out my notebook, and wrote it down. Because they were going to go back and relook at the autopsy and relook at the bones and relook at what had gone on and see what they could find. And what she said was, when we're focused on finding one thing, we run the danger of not finding what we aren't looking for. If I've got a story in my head about how this happened, and I'm only looking for evidence of how it happened the way I think it happened, I'm not going to see the evidence of the other thing that happened. The master teacher, Jesus, said it, seek and you will find. Whatever you're looking for, I guarantee you, you'll find it. If you're looking for trouble, you'll find trouble. If you're looking for joy, you'll find joy. If you're looking for whatever, you will find it. One of the ways we use this beautiful frontal lobe of ours is to prove theories we've already extracted. We're not actually good detectives out looking for what happened. We see what's going on. We say, oh, this follows that pattern, so that's what is. So then we go looking for evidence of how that is correct, and we manage to find evidence of how that's correct, and we go, see, I was right. This is the truth. And we miss, somebody just said, hello, how are you? And you go, see? We don't see what we're not looking for. So last week we looked at the whole idea of up until now. The idea of instead of saying, oh, I always make a mistake there, or oh, I can never do this. Up until now, I've had trouble with that. Up until now, I've had issues with things like this. Instead of saying that's how I always am, up until now, that was what I used to do. And now I can do something different. That opens the gateway for me to think new things, say new things, do new things, and be in new ways. I can release old patterns and beliefs so I can become who I am now. Because I was just talking, and I'm sorry I forgot your name, but we're from the Midwest. She's from Missouri, and Sophia, yes. She's from Missouri, and my family was from Nebraska, and I spent most of the first 6 years of my life and every summer till I was 18 on my grandparents' farm in Nebraska. So there's a part of me that's still a Nebraska farm girl. There's a part of me that's the little girl who grew up in Lindsay and spent all my school years there. There's the girl who moved all the way to Visalia, 23 whole miles, when I turned 18 and went to college and lived a life for 40 years. And then there's the girl who left everything and moved to Petaluma at 49, just before her 50th birthday, started a new work there. And then there's the woman at 56 who said, you know what? This isn't going to grow as long as I stay here, and the center here needed somebody, and so I left everything I knew again and moved up here. And now I've been here 17 years, and I contain all of those people from the little girl on the farm in Nebraska to today. But I am not all those things. I am brand new. In this moment, I am brand new in what it is that I can look at, see, think, say. I'm reading a book on uncertainty and the idea that they have actually done studies and for those of you who are in my class, I mentioned this in my class last week, but people who've been married 20, 30, 40 years actually test lower on cognizance about each other than new friends who've just met them in the last year. We remember the person we fell in love with, not the person they've grown into. And unless we're really awake and aware, this is how things are. This is how we do everything in life, with the story of the little girl who moved to California from Nebraska, of the little girl who moved from what she knew to Petaluma. We are telling ourselves stories of lessons we learned that hopefully we learned the lesson we're no longer that. We're something new. We're something different. And that's what this Tell Me Something Good is really about. We are part of the one mind. We can be who we yearn to be, not who we say we are. There's a big difference between who I yearn to be. And no matter how old I get, there is a yearning in me. Yesterday, I just realized as I was driving down the street, it was the 40th anniversary of the day I opened my bar. I had a little bar called the Lucky Penny down in Visalia back when I was 40 years younger than I am now. Out of the blue, a friend of mine who was there that day and actually did a bank run for us to get money for the till because we had forgotten to get money for the till, called me out of the blue, didn't even realize it was that day. But something in him knew. There is something in us that knows all the time. There is something in us that is whispering to us, not up here in the frontal lobe, down here in the core of our being, down here either in our heart or our gut. We have more neurotransmitters in our heart and our gut than we do in our brain. We think with all of our body. We are without limits, and yet we limit ourselves by the size of our thoughts. The 3-year-old on the farm is making some of my decisions for this 74-year-old woman. She's got to stop it. Stop it. But I place the mold that my thoughts become. The universe is without limit. It will give us everything. We can go to the ocean with a thimble or a tanker truck. It doesn't care. Back when I was a little girl, the United States Steel Hour had in black and white this big picture of the molten metal pouring out, you know, and the thing of it is, it will become anything. That molten steel can be formed into little bitty blocks, into great big blocks, into long tubes. It can be formed into anything. Our brain is the mold that takes the molten ideas of the infinite and says, oh, just this much, please. I'll only do this much today. You know, that's the max I can do. That's plenty for me. Because, you know, I'm not worthy. Because I was a bad girl yesterday, and blah, 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 blah. Blah. So we have to tune into the deeper intelligence within us. I'm going back to Rick Rubin, and we don't have any copies of the book left anymore, but Rick's going to order more, so it's okay. The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, leader of Def Jam Records. We are not, by thinking, we are not seeking to define ourselves, and I'm going to say because define means to set limits on. Define says what it is and what it isn't. We're not seeking to define ourselves, but to expand ourselves. To tune into our limitless nature and connection to all that is. We are on a continual quest to get closer to the universe by getting closer to the self, to the point where we can no longer tell where one begins and the other ends. That is what spiritual mind treatment is about. That's what spiritual practice is about. That is grounding in the idea that there is an infinite energy that is here for all of us, and it is in me. It is all that I am. It is everything that I am. And when I open to it, I grow. I become the drop of water that becomes the ocean. I expand rather than contract in relation to the infinite. When I let the infinite through my mind and past my mind and the big doorstop up here, this brilliant frontal lobe we've got that does all the thinking and carries our IQ, is the same one that's building the limits. It's the same one that's saying, oh, that's too much. We can tune into that deeper intelligence, and that is really the basis of this teaching. We have a saying I talked about before this month, during this month. Principle does not depend upon precedent. Principle, the idea of an infinite intelligence, the idea of an infinite way of being, doesn't care what happened yesterday, doesn't care what happened 5 minutes ago. It can be anything now. It can be anything now. It doesn't have to be what it was yesterday and the day before 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 and the day before. It doesn't have to be that. It can be something brand new. It can be something different, because if my heart can feel it, if I can see myself and feel myself being there, I am creating it in the infinite mind of the intelligence that I call God, and it is creating it with me. It is grounding me and lifting me at the same time. The woman who wrote the outlines this month, I quoted her last week, and I really like Lynn Nowicki. She's a minister in Oklahoma. And she wrote something that I really want to share with you, because we're post-COVID now. We're rebuilding our lives. We're rebuilding our community. We're doing all these things, and we feel like we don't really know, what are the rules now? Well, guess what? We're making the rules now. We're the ones who make these rules, and we can make them out of fear or out of love. I would rather go with love. I would rather go with love than fear. While our ego likes the safety of familiar territory, we'll never transcend our old experience until we're willing to be surprised. You know, and when I was going through PTSD, surprises really became shocks to me, you know, but it's learning to be surprised again. It takes conscious commitment to erase and replace old patterns of speech like, oh, that'll never work. and stretch into new scripts like, what if we... Have you ever considered the possibility that we might? And as we do so, a new lightness of energy shows up for us, a new willingness to be happily surprised. What if I just let go? What if I quit trying so hard? What if I quit carrying all those stories from Nebraska and Lindsay and Visalia and Petaluma and even just first moving here and just became now? I have the memories and I can go there, but they no longer have power. I've taken my power back from the stories. That's where we discover who we are and what we can do. That's when we look at where we are, whether we're in this community, whether we're in our house, whether we're standing on the street looking at the newest homeless encampment, and say, what wants to happen here? What wants to happen here? What wants to grow? What wants to be added? What's working? You see, if we don't fill our mind with what's broken, what's wrong, how do we fix this? And we fill it with what's possible and where we could go, there are no limits to what we can accomplish. But our natural hardwired human tendency with the ego is danger, danger, protection, protection. Oh, this is broken. Yeah, we need to fix it, but there's something bad wrong here. No, there's nothing wrong. This is a perfect outpicturing of the way the system is designed. This is a perfect outpicturing of how the system is working now. So how do we add something new? How do we create something different? How do we love in ways that we can take what's working and make it work better? I read something, and it really has nothing to do with today's talk. And it has everything to do with today's talk. It's by somebody named Dave Willis. I do not know whether it's from a book, an article, a story, a movie script, or what it is. It's not our job to fix people. It's our job to love them, even while they're broken. Now, we don't like to view anybody as broken. And yet, there's a truth in that that is so real. And it's hard, as a minister, and I'm reminded about 5 years after I sold my bar and I had moved off to Petaluma, and I came back and had a little reunion with some of the people that used to attend my bar and used to work for me, and we were talking, and they said basically, Linda, you've always been a minister. You always took care of us. You always made sure we didn't get in trouble. You always made sure we got a safe ride home. You always were doing this. And I look back at my life, and yeah, I have been all my life the one who creates community, the one who brings people together, the one, because I lived in the country and didn't have neighbors. In the formative years, the first 6 years of my life, I learned how to be independent. And then when I was around other people and I wanted to belong with other people, I had to learn how to bring people together. Because California, Central California and the Midwest of Nebraska are two different languages, basically, two different ways of looking at things, especially in the 50s. And what speaks to me is how we see one another, where it says even when they're broken, what I take that as even when they're acting out, even when they are reacting from a place of pain, even when they're crying at the top of their lungs to be loved, because everything is either love or a cry for love, and the loudest cries for love are generally the most unlovable. And so if I can love them, if I can do that, this has been the ability of my life to attempt to see in people who they really are. Yes, I hear your words. Yes, I see your actions, but I also see you. I see the you that is there, the beautiful soul that we could see when you first opened your eyes as an infant. And you look into an infant's eyes, that is the most beautiful, natural expression of God I think anybody ever can see. What do I tell myself is the truth of my being? What do I tell myself? What have I been overlooking all my life that is a basic truth, not only of me, but of the people around me? What have I been overlooking that I can see and celebrate now? What have I been overlooking in this center that I could build on and grow? What have I been overlooking in my family that I could build on and grow? We have a choice to make, and I want to make sure I say this correctly. Am I going to be bound to the scope of my previous experience and understanding? Or am I willing to surrender into a bigger idea? Am I willing to see that so much more is possible? Such greater good is possible. Such profound love is possible. Growth in ways we never imagined is possible when I don't know. The minute I know, I slam on the brakes. So let's just play with that this week. Let's take that on as our spiritual practice this week. Could I let go of what I think I know about this person, about me, about anything? Could I let Spirit just play this week without putting my brakes on? All right. We are going to do our offering. This is the point at which each week we have an opportunity for those of us who are not giving online or sending in checks or something like that. This is our opportunity to appreciate the center and to appreciate the good that is here. And we, as I keep trying to explain to people, we do not have, yes, we have a home office, but they don't pay my salary and they don't fund us or do the music or anything else. They are there to provide us with curriculum and that sort of thing. So we're totally a self-supporting entity, and everything that we do, thank God we have a paid off building, and that's wonderful, but we do have employees and we do have stuff going on. So
Paint. We need paint.
we need to paint, yeah. Oh, I do the blessing now, of the offering now.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, the minister does the blessing of the offering now.
Join you up here anyway.
You can join me up here anyway. This is Reverend Trish. She's been my friend for over 25 years.
Yeah.
So would you please take your gift and lay it over your heart? And if you don't have a gift today, just put your hand over your heart and say with me, I bless this gift.
I bless this gift,
Knowing it is the circulation
knowing it is the circulation
of divine good.
of divine good.
And so it is.
And so it is.
receiving, we circulate the love with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything.
No, I wasn't even a baby. I think my dad was a baby. Let's put it that way. Well, that's what Stacia, my wife, she said, man, you look young without your, we had a picture without your beard, and I went, that right then. Tick tock tick. Tick tock tick. Tick tock tick. Tick tock tick. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. Fly like an eagle till I'm free. Oh, right through the revolution. Feed the babies who don't get enough to eat. Shoe the children, no shoes on the feet. House people living on the street. Oh, there's a solution. Want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. Fly like an eagle till I'm free. Oh, right through the revolution. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. Fly like an eagle till I'm free. Oh, right through the revolution. Tick tock tick.
I want to thank Kevin completely and totally. And especially, he gifted this to us today. He said, no, let me do this for free. So bless his heart.
I love you guys so much.
I think we like you too. Anybody like Kevin? Yeah. All right, it's announcement time. Woohoo! Today, after the gathering at 11:45 in the meditation room, there is a discussion group, and this week, Reverend Trish will be leading it because Radiant was going to be the practitioner today, and she's ill, so Reverend Trish is leading the discussion group. It's 11:45 to 12:15. If you had anything that came up for you during today's talk or anything that with the teaching that you've got questions about, she is an amazing mind and knows all kinds of good answers for you to help you get going. Community Riverwalk today with Joe. Somewhere between 11:45 and noon, they will be leaving. Joe, would you stand so everybody knows who you are? Sure.
I'm fine with walking.
It's standing and sitting. Standing and sitting are issues. Walking is fine. So that's happening. That's happening after the service. This week, men's coffee on Tuesdays at 10 at Theo's. The Wednesday gathering is this Wednesday, and this is it's the solstice. Kathy and Dwayne are doing the solstice this week, a Taizé service with music and readings. It's going to be quite lovely. And then Thursdays at noon in the social hall, soup, bread, and spiritual practices with me. So there's good things happening, every week at the center that you can be part of if you're interested. Also on Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. in the same meditation room, we have the conversation in. The grief group, the grief support group is meeting, and that's for anyone who has any kind of loss, whether it's the death of a family member, a pet, loss of a job, loss of a home, anything that might be where you're struggling with grief. It's a wonderful group of opportunity to share with others. And again, there we go. The Taizé gathering is this Wednesday, March 20 at 5:30. And Kathy is leading the event, and its special music selections will be performed by her husband, Dwayne. And then beginning March 24th, Astrid, thank you. Astrid is starting this. It's going for 10 weeks, but what it is it's an every other week thing. So there's actually only 5 meetings, but it's every other week, doing work with the Body Awareness Book for Trauma and the Body Keeps Score. If you are interested, go to CSL Eugene and find it on the drop-down menu, and you can sign up. April's bingo will be on Saturday, April 13th. If any of you have a way, I want to thank Pam today. She brought a couple of bottles of wine to donate. If anybody else, if you have gift certificates from somewhere or any other thing that might be a fun gift to give away, and if you're a baker, maybe you make something special for, a batch of cookies to give away or something. The options are limitless. Okay, the life after 50, we have had to move. Conflicts have come up, so we moved it to Saturday, the April 26th. So it's a month later. It's just the 4th Saturday, only in April instead of in May. And the book boutique is open. I think Susan is going to be there today to help people with that. And if you have any desire, we need help in the sound production group. We need greeters. We need kitchen angels. There are a lot of opportunities to be able to serve here. And the service, seva is a Hindu word meaning selfless service. And when we give of ourselves, we really find that we grow spiritually and we expand our connection to other people, and it's really, really meaningful. You might think, why would making coffee for people be a spiritual? But it really is. So if you are interested in doing anything on a Sunday, let us know. Want to thank Ellen Gabehart and Meredith Farrell for the beautiful artwork. Ellen did everything that's framed, and her friend Meredith did all of the fantastic silk hangings. And we are blessed. They'll be here for a couple of months. And now Reverend Trish will be telling you about practitioners.
know that you've heard this probably every Sunday, and certainly know who most of our practitioners are, but they are people who have dedicated their lives to this teaching, that they have done the extra years of study to know and to live their own lives coming from that deep center of their spiritual design, because that's what we are. We are humans in form and spiritual in design. So when you have trouble and you're looking for some support in how to get out of something, how to bring in more of something that you just absolutely love in your life, then a practitioner is the one that can see that truth for you and remind you of who you are. And as it said, when two or more are gathered together, there too am I in the midst of them. In this case, with spiritualness, when you have two together, you don't have a multiple of two. You have of 4, and then of 10, and then of 20. So as we gather to support you, and it's our delight to do that, you'll find someone standing at the windows over here and one over here. And I'm going to ask the practitioners if they'll stand and make themselves known. Okay. They will be taking over the areas where the windows are, and I will be up here in front. We offer you a 1-minute celebration and a reminder of who you truly are, with all of the gifts that have been given to you and all the blessings that are there for you. So now we'll stand and join hands and sing our closing song. Oh, sing it loud. Come on.
Well, I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I overlooked before. First is the sunshine, second the rain, third is the roses that bloom in the lane. There's no explaining the one remaining, somebody I adore. So I'm looking over a 4-leaf clover that I overlooked before. I'm looking over. Sorry. I was ready to jam some more.
Woo!
All right, y'all are 4-leaf clovers.
If you choose, please repeat after me. I don't overlook anything. Life is good.
Life is good.
And so it is.